Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Daily Dose. I'm your host, Kate, and this is the third episode in a 5-part mini-series on the cannabis retail industry. Information presented in this episode comes from two of the top resources for cannabis information, Weedmaps and Leafly.com. So perhaps you're new to cannabis, or maybe you've used it before, but you're just returning to it. In this episode, we're going to provide you with some terminology and talk about the different products available to you at a dispensary. There are 5 types of cannabis products. We've got flower, concentrates, edibles, tinctures, and topicals. Flower, also known as bud, herb, or the nug, is the smokable part of the cannabis plant. Smoking flower is by far the most popular way to consume cannabis, and you can buy loose-leaf bud to smoke in an apparatus like a pipe or bong, or you can roll the flower into a paper to smoke it. Most consumers call these joints or doobies, but in the legal retail space, they're known as pre-rolls, and you can even buy them already rolled for you. Smoking flower is the quickest way to feel the effects of cannabis. Cannabis concentrates are just that, a more potent concentrated form of the cannabis plant. Concentrates are made by isolating specific compounds in the plant such as terpenes and are extracted to provide the consumer with a more potent, more flavorful product. Concentrates are typically used by the more experienced consumer and come in a variety of forms. We have hash or hashish, butters, waxes, shatter, and crumbles, to name a few. Concentrates are usually smoked out of what we call a dab rig or vaporizer. Speaking of vaping, concentrates are also used in vape cartridges. Vaping has become an increasingly popular method of consumption, as it is discreet and doesn't leave the strong odor flower leaves in the air after you've smoked. Vape cartridges are far more potent than flower in terms of THC content, so for new and returning users alike, start with one hit and wait a few minutes to see how you feel before smoking any more. Now, we've all heard stories about accidental overdose after eating a special brownie, but I'm here to tell you the legal industry has done a great job of making sure consumers know how to properly dose when it comes to eating cannabis-infused foods. From gummies to chocolates to popcorn, mints, and root beer, you can find just about anything in the edible department. Edibles are usually dosed in 5 to 10 milligram pieces, and a good retail consultant will often encourage you to start with a microdose of 2.5 milligrams if you're new to them. Be sure to wait at least an hour to an hour and a half before eating any more of an edible, so you don't find yourself spooning your dog on the floor and riding out a high that's too intense. Cannabis tinctures are alcohol-based cannabis extracts, also known as a sublingual. They're a great option for both recreational and medical consumers looking to ease into smokeless consumption methods. Tinctures are often the cleanest form of cannabis product, and many health-conscious consumers opt for a tincture. Tinctures are also the fastest way to feel the effects from cannabis if you aren't wanting to smoke. A tincture goes under the tongue and into the capillaries that carry it into the bloodstream, thus allowing you to feel its effects within 15 to 20 minutes. You can also add drops of tincture to your favorite beverage or food, but just know that the onset to feel its effects will then take as long as an edible does. Topicals are cannabis-infused lotions, salves, oils, and transdermal patches that are absorbed through the skin for localized relief of pain, soreness, and inflammation. Because they're non-intoxicating, topicals are often chosen by consumers who want the therapeutic benefits of cannabis without the cerebral euphoria associated with other delivery methods. The bath bombs are certainly worth a try after a long day. This concludes episode 3 of the Daily Dose. I'm your host, Kate. Stay tuned for episode 4, where I go over some more important terms and language you should know before visiting a dispensary. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Be sure to subscribe for more. Thanks, guys!